short rib mac and cheese, bacon wrapped dates stuffed with blue cheese, and cranberry bourbon cheesecake. If you're in a comfort food kind of mood, then the Regal Beagle in Coolidge Corner, Brookline is your kind of place. Named after the fictional hangout on the old television show Three's Company, this version of the Regal Beagle definitely makes every customer feel like a local.
It's a neighborhood joint, doing some really cool stuff from the cocktails to the food, you know. There's a lot of love put in here, and that's kind of what makes the neighborhood joint, you know what I mean? Just a lot of people who really care about what's going on and what the people want to eat and drink.
So executive chef Stacy Cogswell and her team have put together a menu that offers comfort food classics alongside creative seasonal specialties.
I'm just really into whatever is super fresh at that moment and what's at its peak.
It's all served up in a warm and comfortable dining room decorated with low lighting, interesting artwork, and flocked retro red wallpaper that nobody can resist touching. Put it all together, and the Regal Beagle is a recipe for a satisfyingly great meal.
The look on people's faces after they finish their meal. And I come out to the dining room a lot and do table visits, and just that elated, satisfied look on their face, and they're happy.
So let's head on over to the Beagle for a closer look at the menu with Chef Stacy Cogswell. Hello, Stacy. Welcome.
Hi.
This is going to be a very comforting experience because you walk into the Regal Beagle, you feel like you're warm, you feel like you're toasty, you know you're going to eat some good stuff. Especially the mac and cheese, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to show people the video of this mac and cheese, and drooling will ensue throughout New England because you actually make it with short ribs. This is like nuts.
Yeah, it's you take these beautifully braised short ribs, and they're so rich in the sauce from it, and then you add it to mac and cheese, and it's pretty much the ultimate fat kid food.
Yeah, I know that you're talking to me right there. You even talk about the ultimate fat kid food. Anytime you're serving something inside that like cast iron skillet, you know you're in for something good. But what about the mac and cheese itself? I mean, what goes into that sauce? What kind of cheese are you using? What are you topping it with? The whole deal.
The mac and cheese, we use elbow macaroni. We start with a bechamel base, and then it's cheddar and Parmesan and truffle oil.
Y'all see?
Ritz crackers. That's what makes the mac and cheese. That's how my grandmother used to make it.
Right.
So why would you change something that's not broke?
I got to call you up. There's no way your grandmother is using truffle oil in your mac and cheese. No one's grandma did that, nor short ribs, but it is darn good. Now, when you come into the Beagle, you can sit down and have a dinner. A lot of people just like to sit at the bar, have a few cocktails, have some little snacks. You got a few snacks. They're only like $4 each, and one is about as delicious a one-bite thing you can ever stick in your mouth. It's essentially dates, but there's some bacon involved, there's some cheese involved. What are these things? Because they're so good.
So they're Medrol Dates, and we get them in, we take the pits out and stuff them with gorgonzola cheese.
Yes.
And then wrap them in bacon. And then fry them.
Yes!
And it can't not be bad.
No, I know it. Because when you bite into it, right, and it's true that you really can eat the whole thing in one bite. You take it right off that skewer and you pop it in your mouth. So what are you going to kind of experience taste-wise or texture-wise?
It's the ultimate sweet, savory, salty, like perfect bite. Especially if you're having a cocktail, that's kind of really all you want.
No, exactly right. You have everything you need and wash it down with a nice martini. So a lot of neighborhood restaurants, and Regal Beagle really is, in the spirit of Three's Company, a real kind of neighborhood kind of place. And most neighborhood restaurants are kind of, bistros, brasseries. They'll have steak frites on the menu. You do a little bit of a twist on that. You do steak a little bit differently. Explain the sirloin that you're doing.
So we get Painted Hill Farms meat in, and the sirloin is absolutely amazing. I serve it with corn pudding, which is traditional New England. You kind of can't go wrong with that in the fall.
Yeah.
And spinach glass.
Well, now, what is spinach glass? You look at this stuff. It looks like kind of cool spinach, but what's the name spinach glass? Sounds interesting.
So it's just baby spinach, and you fry it. And it gets see-through, almost like stained glass. And I came upon it on accident one day, and I thought it was really beautiful. And what happens is it gets a little bit bitter, which is great for the sweet and the corn pudding. Right. And then we finish it with a Madeira mushroom gravy.
A beautiful, beautiful dish. See, that's the kind of thing you don't usually find at little neighborhood places like the Regal Beagle. Now let's get down to dessert, okay? I mean, you have some sweetness like with the dates, I know, but you want to get something really good for dessert. You want some serious comfort food. I'm going to go for cheesecake. And I know, like, you go to the Cheesecake Factory, a strawberry. Of all the million flavors they have, strawberry is probably the #1. But you're doing a different kind of berry on yours.
Yes, well, 'tis the season. It's cranberry. And it's not just cranberry. The cranberries are fresh cranberries that are cooked with bourbon and orange juice.
Bourbon cooked cranberries on top of the cheesecake. So what are you going to experience when you taste this thing?
You're going to experience a sort of, not the alcohol bite, but the sweetness and that flavor from the bourbon. And then it's going to be sour from the cranberries. And then you have that rich, rich cheesecake. It sort of cuts right through it.
There it is. This is perfect. This is a chef that knows her comfort food. The Regal Beagle is at 308 Harvard Street in Coolidge Corner, Brookline, and at thebeaglebrookline.com.